Hello and welcome to Retrofuturism and Animation. This is our ongoing exploration of animated features from the past. It's October, Halloween, and so I wanted to find a prediction that was weird and spooky, or both, preferably, and boy did I ever. Today we're going to be looking at the Czech puppet film, The Cybernetic Grandma. Now this is a film that lives up to its title. It was produced in 1962 and was directed by the legendary Jiří Trnka. Trnka was an absolute master of his craft. We talked about him a bit on Animation Propaganda, along with Jiří Brdecka. He produced the 1946 anti-Nazi film The Spring Man in the SS, placing a local folk legend into occupied Czechoslovakia, which was his home. While this is traditional animation, Trnka was better known for his later stop-motion puppetry. Throughout his career, his work has been nominated or won numerous awards. The most popular short of his, Ruka, Translate of the Hand, is considered to be one of the greatest animated shorts of all time. What I love about his films is that they are extremely atmospheric. Here we are seeing one of his spookier offerings, 1949's The Devil's Mill. This featured an organ grinder who stumbles into a haunted mill. He experiences all sorts of supernatural haunts before being confronted by the devil himself, an evil he eventually banishes through the use of song. This has some serious Charlie Daniels vibes, in my opinion. Already, Trnka's talent should be obvious. These lighting effects are incredible, and the animation is smooth, the characters are emotive, the puppets, it's excellent. In 1962, Trnka reflected on society's increasing use of technology with the Cybernetic Grandma. I couldn't find English subtitles for this, but it's largely silent and perfectly enjoyable with a little bit of context, which I'm happy to provide here. We are presented with what should be tender moments between a grandmother and her granddaughter, but something feels off. There's this feeling of unease. They get a message calling them to an underground factory. The grandmother takes the child there and sends her in alone. Here, she enters a pod, and the middle part of the short takes place in the pod. It floats, and the child has access to a monitor and music. As she is introduced to new devices and new ideas, it's very overwhelming, and so she grounds herself with memories, the photographs she's brought. Getting out of the pod, she gets moved to another and witnesses the funeral of the future. She eventually finds herself in a very futuristic structure, and it is here we are introduced to the Cybernetic Grandma. Basically a robot wheelchair with doilies. The Cybernetic Grandma speaks warmly to the child, but acts coldly, at one point tossing her ball into the abyss. It constantly teases her. It withholds her photographs, her memories. She is eventually shown adorable and horrific images. When she's had enough and finally breaks down, the Flesh Grandma shows up and turns her robot counterpart off, and the short ends with the two embracing while sitting in the robot grandmother. What I get out of this in terms of moral is that technology may make our lives easier, but it can't replicate or replace love. This human is being reprogrammed in a way. She is introduced to the ways of the machine and rejects them. In terms of futuristic predictions, besides, of course, the terrifying grandmother, we get carrier bots that function like helicopters. They deliver things. A record player that plays photographs and acts kind of like a telephone as well. How these photographs are taken is also interesting. It's like a flashlight camera that instantly develops the photos. This car doesn't get used, but it is a pretty standard futuristic design. The monitor in the pod itself, obviously, wireless speakers, and of course the idea that machines will one day replace humans in every single way. I loved the Cybernetic Grandma. The stop-motion work is fluid, the design is off-putting, but it's great. The short is obviously very surreal. The camera is intentionally disorienting at times, and it does an impressive amount of idea or world building in just half an hour. The soundtrack is very atmospheric as well. John Cagey mixed with early electronica fits perfectly with the theme and the visuals. Trnka is part of a great tradition. The Czechs have produced a ton of amazing animation, stop motion or otherwise. Much of it is surreal and creepy, whether intentional or not. I'm looking forward to exploring it more in the coming months. Definitely check this out if you have any interest at all in stop motion. Trnka was a master, very creepy, very unsettling, and very seasonally appropriate. So if you're watching horror movies this month and looking for something new and different, work this in. I'll post a link in the description. Our first Halloween special was on Ladislav Starovich a couple years ago. Check that out for more stop motion creepiness. We also just did a huge video on the animated aesthetics of 90s Halloween television. And if you want even more unsettling media, Nightmare Core 2020 is now available for free over on Patreon. There are more creepy puppets there. As a heads up though, don't fall asleep to it, and viewer discretion is advised. Patreon is also the only place to see Century of Schlock, our exploration of trash media from the 20th century. A new episode should be available shortly, if not now, so please consider supporting us if you can, patreon.com/pics and portraits. Please like and share this video, that helps out a lot too. As always, thank you so much for your interest in this channel, and thanks for watching.